All right. So thank you everybody for joining. I'm so excited to have Sonovia with us today. So for those who don't know, because I know there's a few people on the call that aren't necessarily directly on my team, my name is Candace Armour. I am a diamond from Chicago. I've been in the business since August 2015. And I've learned a lot in the process, and one of the best things that I learned is to just stay connected and plugged in and kind of glean from other people in the business, figure out what works for them. And so one of the things I wanted to do for my team personally was to bring other leaders that we may not necessarily be as familiar with on to some of our training calls to kind of give you guys insight on what works for them and how they came through the business. So we're starting off with having Sonovia, and I'd just like to have you, Sonovia, go ahead and tell us like your story. Like, what's your It Works story?
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, first off, thank you for having me. Like she said, my name is Sonovia Williams. I am a presidential diamond with It Works. I have been with the company. August will be 4 years for me. Just a little bit of background. Prior to joining It Works, I am a wife. I am a mother of 2 teenagers. I was a full-time hairstylist and salon owner. And if you caught us talking earlier, I'm also a Zumba instructor. So I already had a lot on my plate. But I was one of those, robbing Peter just to pay Paul. Business was good in the salon, but of course, who isn't in a situation where they need, extra income? And I needed an extra $200 a month. I saw It Works on social media, of course, on Instagram, and I was a non-believer. I was like, there is no way that this cloth wrap is making these ladies and gentlemen look like this. I don't believe it. But I saw so much of it. I was interested and eager to learn more. So long story short, a girlfriend of mine was throwing a wrap party, and I figured I would go. It was 8 of us there. So me being a hairstylist, I already have that hustle mentality. Like, I started seeing dollar signs. I'm like, okay, we all paid her $25 a piece. She made an easy $200 off of us, for an hour, hour and a half of her time. All of us got wrapped. Everyone saw results but me. So if you've heard Pam Souter talk before, I was one of the ones that was more toxic. So I didn't see any results, but everyone else did. And that had me already floored. Like, okay, where do I sign up? She did explain that 9 out of 10 people see results, but I was at select smaller percentage that did it. So I was fine with that. But I signed up on the spot as a distributor. I didn't need any more enticing. I'm just like, I saw dollar signs. I know some ladies in my salon that can benefit from this. I signed up on a Wednesday, and by Saturday, my kit came. Sunday after church, I had already made my investment back because I had already sold all 4 of my wraps. After church, I came back to my salon and wrapped 4 ladies, made my $100 back. Again, only wanting or needing an extra $200 in the business. My first 3 months in, I had already supplemented my salon income. By the time I was 6 months in, I replaced my husband's monthly income. 9 months in, I replaced our household income. So by the time I hit a year, I was like, okay, this has been steady money. I retired from my salon. So even though August will be 4 years that I've been with the company, August will be 3 years that I've been retired. And this is my office right here. Within that time, like I said, I'm a presidential. My husband is my triple, soon to be my presidential for our ambassador run. Oh, God. Yes. Together, we've collectively earned a total of $265,000 in bonuses. We've paid off over $95,000 in debt. We've purchased our second home. We have an investment property. It's been great, going from there. My husband could be retired as well, but he's one that chose to continue to work corporate America, which is fine. But that's pretty much my story, like I said, in a nutshell, over the course of the last almost 4 years now.
Wow. That's an amazing story. Like, especially knowing that 265,000 was just in bonuses and not even thinking about your regular paycheck. Like, that is amazing. So I know you started out with the simple, getting seeing results with the wraps on other people, and then that was something that you kept putting wraps on other people. Can you speak to how important it is to getting the wraps on people, and what are some strategies that you use to get the wraps on people and to make wraps?
So if you guys follow me on social media, you will see that I'm constantly talking about I run 100% of my business on social media. And I'm not gonna lie, I do. I don't have to step out and blitz. 100% of my business comes from social media. But everyone, that isn't everyone's story. Like some, they don't want to open up on social media. Some don't have a large following on social media. So I'm one of those leaders who try and lead by example. And we've gone back to the basics, you know, what they're preaching and telling us to do all the time. So we've gotten back to having weekly team rep parties. We call it a sip and see. And I did that to prove a point, just to show, even though I'm saying, you know, get out there and rep people, but yet I'm at home sitting on social media. Okay, let me get out there and do it with you. Every time we have these events, we sign people on the spot. Whether we're making rep cash, whether we're signing loyals on the spot, or we're signing distributors on the spot. We have yet to have one of these events and no one has signed up. Every guest that comes signs up on the spot. So it's easy to tell people about it. It's easy for them to see it on social media, but when you can actually get in front of them and put the wrap on them and speak about the products and let them, you know, taste, try, see, smell, you know, the other products that you may have on hand, it makes them a believer, you know, of seeing it. So just getting back to the basics and getting out wrapping people, even if it's not a wrap party. I can't tell you how many times someone's flagging me down with the magnets on my car, like, oh my gosh, you know, you sell wraps, so you got wraps on you. And we'll go into a Walmart bathroom to wrap down, you know, or whatever. And it's just that simple, saying, okay, I made an extra $25, you know, with 10 minutes of my time, 5 minutes of my time. Putting the wrap on people is like, it's golden. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, it's beneficial to run this business on social media also. But for people to actually become believers and, you know, see the results, that will never get old for me. Still putting a wrap on someone now, nearly 4 years later, still makes me just as excited as it did when I first started. So that never gets old. Seeing the look on their face and they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is me. Look at my before and after. Like, you know, I've never seen myself look like this or whatever. So get the wrap on people. I mean, it's that rule will never get played out. I don't care what anyone says.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's great. Another question that I had I know you said you have like team weekly wrap parties. Now, I know from my personal experience, when I first had my first wrap party, nobody showed up. I think nobody showed up to my second wrap party. And then, you know, sometimes it's like, I'll get people and then I won't. Like, what's your experience with what actually gets people to show up to wrap parties?
I've noticed that consistency will get them to show up. So like if you have a wrap party, today is Tuesday, say you have a party this Friday and no one shows up, and it's probably like a month or 6 weeks before you do it again, you may get one or two people or a handful of people, or again, no one shows up. But when you're consistent with it, like I said, we offer it weekly. And because people are constantly seeing it on social media and constantly hearing us talking about it, it's like, okay, I know I missed the last one. When is the next one? You're having it, you know, Monday again. I'll be there. I'm not going to lie. My first wrap party, I want to say I had 2 people show up. They wrapped. They did sign up on the spot. I've had parties when I first started that no one showed up to. And several of my team have had parties that they like to say has been a flop, but the party still goes on, even if it's just one person. And if it's just you and your sponsor, then it turns into a training. Like either way, something's going to pop off. We're not there just wasting time and twiddling thumbs when we could be doing something productive versus, you know, being busy. So whether no one comes, it's a training. If one person comes, it's still a party. You still hype it up. You never know. I tell my distributors, don't cancel a party just because the amount that you want it to come is not coming. Say 10 reserve the spot, but you know that only 1 or 2 are showing up. The party still goes on, because that could be your next rock star, you know, that you could be signing right there or enrolling or putting a wrap on that mom who is struggling with stretch marks and mommy pouches and all that good stuff. So the party goes on regardless, and if not, it turns into a training.
Yeah. No, these are some good nuggets. I hope you guys are taking good notes on this. I know, especially with like those hosting parties and just continuing to be consistent, like is a major thing, especially because it can get really discouraging when you're like, dang, didn't nobody show up at my party? This is a waste of time. But I've also had those parties where I, get 1,500 and be in one party. Like, I don't think people pay attention to, like that consistency that, it's just about having the right people in the room. And sometimes if the right people aren't showing up, then ask someone to host a party for you.
Exactly.
That was one of the things that worked for me really, really well. Another question I have for you. So I know the company keeps it like super simple, like every single month, stick to the steps to success. If you do that, you're successful, right? So how do you personally go about, making sure that every single month you're getting, at minimum, like your 4 loyals and closing those 3 distributors?
Steps to success is very crucial. I'm also one, like I said, that I lead by example, lead from the front. And just to show you, like, these are some of my old ones here back from like 2014. I print one off every single month. There's never been a month that goes by that I'm not printing my steps to success. And I tell people, when you print it, it helps you hold yourself accountable. I know, it's 4 loyals and 3 distributors. And you might have in your mind, like, I know what I got to get. Write it down, like print it off, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it on your refrigerator with a magnet. Do something where it will help you hold yourself accountable. I'm a firm believer of planting tons of seeds, because the people you talk to today, 9 out of 10, it's going to be about a 3 to 6 month turnaround before they're actually ready to do something. Those who are signing people today, probably talk to them right around the holidays or right into the beginning of the new year or so. So, not saying that who you talk to won't sign right away. Every now and then you find those little golden eggs, I like to call them, who sign up on the spot. But start planting those seeds now, because the more people that you're talking to, the more seeds that you're planting, that's what's going to help you reap your harvest so that you can hold yourself accountable for it. I always tell my team, we know what our monthly goal is for the 4 loyals and 3 distributors. Break those up into weekly goals and then break them up into monthly goals. Because if not, everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off after the 25th. Like, oh my gosh, I got to get, 3 more distributors or 4 more loyals. Break it up into your weekly and monthly goals. Again, it helps you hold yourself accountable. And I also have my team doing their 6 list. I don't know if you guys do that, but we do a 6 list every night. Just so you know what you want to do for the next day to get that stuff knocked out. Because a lot of people are mad busy, but they're not productive. And there's a big difference between being busy and being productive. So if you're not doing IPAs or income producing activities, you're really just wasting time. Scrolling on social media, you're not getting paid, doing that. Unless you're doing follow-ups, unless you're doing your productive posts, unless you're reaching out to your loyals about declined credit cards or their perk points or something like that. Those are income producing activities. So I find that if you hold yourself accountable with doing that day after day after day, it helps you easily complete your steps to success and then some.
Got it. Can you explain what the 6 list is?
What we do each night before bed, or at least what I recommend my team to do each night before bed, is to write down 6 things. And they don't all have to be IPAs or income producing activities. It can be chores that they had to do around the house, picking up prescriptions, things like that. But 6 things, whether it's business related, household related, whether it's self-development related, it does not matter, but at least 6 things every night before you go to bed. The next day when you wake up, as you're crossing those things off, or as you accomplish those things, cross them off. In hopes that before you go to bed, again, all 6 things have been accomplished. If not, now you got to hold yourself accountable. Okay, I only completed 4 and I still got 2. Well, those 2 need to be the top 2 for the next day, and you come up with 4 other activities. And I just find that doing that and consistently doing that every single day, again, it helps you hold yourself accountable. Because a lot of people, they get caught up, the day goes by, you may still be working corporate America, you did 2 or 3 posts, the next thing you know, you're home, helping kids with homework, finishing up dinner, getting kids ready for bed. The day is gone. Like, you really didn't do anything income producing at the end of the day. You're just like, oh shoot, I had some people I meant to follow up with, I didn't get that done. But if you write that stuff down the night before you go to bed and check that stuff off as you accomplish it the next day, it just, again, helps you hold yourself accountable, so that way you can be more productive within your 24-hour time frame.
Got it. So organization will really, really, really help in setting goals.
Yeah.
So I know you build your business like 100% on social media. So what is your strategy? Like, do you more so focus on cold messaging? Like, how do you, or do you focus on building relationships? Like, what is your, and what do you do now versus like what you did when you first started? In terms
Well, a lot of people ask me, like, what did distributor Sonovia do different from presidential Sonovia? And to be honest, like, everything is still the same. But I find it funny, you know how the time hops come on Facebook and show you what you posted a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. My posts were dry when I first started. I'm like, no wonder people weren't hitting me up. And I find that a way to critique myself to see how far I've come and how much I've grown, you know, using a basic generic join my team photo. You know, it's a $99 investment, join my team. And I tell my team to stay away from those, be more creative with it. It's still sending the same message, but it's not 50 million of us all posting the same photo saying join my team. That's a pet peeve of mine. I hate it because so many of us have mutual friends, you know, and you can tell who's on whose team because you see them all posting the same stuff and all have the same message. That slows down the algorithm on Facebook, so it hurts you in the long run. You know, I tell them to be more creative. If it's going to be a join my team, the bracelets that they give you now with your kit, if you're, I don't know, at Starbucks, make sure you're holding your cup of Starbucks in your hand and showing It Works bracelet, saying my office view for the day, and I want to show someone else how, you know, they can do the same. Just something that simple is being more creative than the regular photo that floats around. So I just try to make sure, you know, that everyone's not only being consistent with it, but putting their own twist on it, you know, and same for myself. I try and tweak it, you know, being consistent with it. People are like, what am I trying to say? They may follow me on social media and they follow a ton of other entrepreneurs or rap girls, so to say. But they'll tell me, well, your consistency, you know, that's what drew me to you. Or I see that you're a real life person. Your page, I kind of have to scroll your page to see what it was that you were doing. You're not going to come on my page to see a bunch of before and afters, you know, and that be it. And I tell the team all the time, do a social media check. For instance, if you go to Instagram and you can scroll up the first 2 or 3 times and see nothing but It Works stuff, your page looks spammy. 9 out of 10 people aren't following you. They aren't interacting with you. Be more personable with yourself. Post things of your family, your kids, your selfies, your inspirational, motivational things, that type of stuff. And like I said, being consistent with it is just what drew people to me. I honestly don't cold message. I never have. Anyone who contacts me reached out from, you know, following my journey or seeing, you know, things that I posted. I have never gotten in anyone's ear saying, hey, you like such and such post. And I'm not knocking that for anyone who does, but I've never personally done that. You know, anyone who joins literally reached out to me, you know, saying, I saw that you posted this, I'm interested, or, you know, I see you're doing this with your team, I'm interested, or I see you've accomplished this and I'm interested. And it's kind of gone from there. And that's just one thing. It's worked in my favor, so I've stuck with it. And I try and teach my team to be more creative with things like that. So we're not all looking like little minions. Nobody wants to be an It Works minion.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. You're one of the first people I've heard that doesn't, you know, actively reach out in cold message, but it sounds like you found a formula that works for you, which is being more consistent and more personable and real and not just reposting what you see on other people's pages.
Right.
And then getting people to reach out to you. Is that something, you said you even did that even in the beginning? You weren't, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I've never cold messaged. The most they may get from me in the inbox, and this is if someone has repeatedly like several of my posts, I may DM or inbox them just saying, hey girl, thanks for the love. You know, I really appreciate it. By the way, your makeup pics rock, or your kids are so cute, you know, something like that. And I leave it at that. I say nothing more about the business, the products, or anything. Then it kind of leads into, I'm just glad to see, you know, as another woman, you know, getting it or being successful. And this is something I kind of thought about doing, but I've kind of been scared. And that kind of just opened the door, you know, right there. But I've never reached out to say, hey, thanks for liking my picture with the cleanse. You know, you want to go ahead and sign up and place your order for it. Or are you interested in ordering? Again, like I said, I'm not knocking that because I know tons of leaders that do it and it works in their favor. But me, I'm just one that never had the need, to do it. What's working, like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So apparently it hasn't broken for me yet, and I hope it stays that way.
Got it. And is that your same strategy for loyal customers and distributors as well? Or do you have kind of a different strategy for attracting people that you would like to have on your team?
I would say it's pretty much the same for loyals and distributors. And even if it's for loyals, instead of it being just a regular photo that you're saying, hey, you want to try this cleanse, we get paid to use our products, fall in love with our products, and share our results. So if we're showing that we're a product of the product, if you see any before and afters on my page, they're myself, my hair journey, my weight loss journey, things like that. And that's where I tell the team, that's when it's time for you to make sure you're trying different things on your auto ship every month so you can become a product of your product. People buy from you. You could be selling dirt on the side of the road, but because of your personality and your excitement and your passion for what you're doing, they'll purchase from you regardless of what it is they're selling. They're buying you first before they're buying your product. So again, if you're consistent with it, if you're passionate about it, if you're excited about it, that's what people are drawn to, whether it's joining your team or whether it's purchasing products from you.
Got it. That's good. So then I know, so for a year, you still were working full time. And so what did your life look like in terms of like, how much time did you spend on your business daily? And then how much time do you, kind of spend on your business even now?
Oh my gosh. Okay. To be honest, I caught hell when I first started because my husband was like, you're always gone doing these stupid parties. He's like, you're always on your phone. And I found myself like, we would be in bed and I would turn the, the little brightness like all the way down. And I would turn my the vibration on so you couldn't hear the clicks. And if he rolled over, put the phone down and act like I was asleep. So like, I felt like I was having an affair or something with my phone. But I knew I had to do what I had to do to get where I wanted to be. But it also made me realize I had to learn how to balance. And that was, really hard to do because my kids were like, every time we're talking to you or tell you what's going on in school, your face is all the way down, in your phone. That's all you do all the time. And I had to realize like, dang, if they're my why, I can't be pulling away from my why so focused, into this. And I just had to learn to do balance, so I have married time, mommy time, me time, spiritual time, all of that. So now I have learned, if the phone rings, it's okay if it goes to voicemail. If someone sends me a message, it's okay if I reply back later that day. I try and make myself, and not in a bad way, but not so accessible at all times. Yeah. Like you can always still reach me, but if I'm so accessible, for one, I can't work my business if I'm managing and micromanaging you at every time. Like every time you text me, I'm able to text you right back. Then I'm not doing what I need to do. So, and that's what I tell my team. Like I'm big on building self-sufficient leaders. If you reach out to me and I haven't hit you back within 24 hours, first off, that's not going to happen because I will reach back out to you within that day. But utilize the team page, make yourself find the answer before reaching out. And I had to stop that because I went into management mode myself with my team. Every time they asked something, I was always available to give them the answer. Now, maybe I'll direct you to where you can find it, but I'm not going the same way I found the same information. I'm going to guide you on how to do that, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll tell you where you can find it at, so just doing that, and managing my time because I got to be right for myself before I can be right for anybody else, so it was a hard lesson to learn. I had to get butthurt about it, but now time I balance when my husband's at work, when the kids are at school, I'm more devoted with It Works. And when he comes home and the kids are off the bus, okay, now it's time for me to turn my phone off or put it down, and I can tend to that later tonight when they're getting ready for bed. You got to find balance with it. If not, you will drain yourself.
Got it. All right, so I know we only have you for a few more minutes, so
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate your time. But one last question, and then you can kind of give some like final parting thoughts. And so this question is more so for like the leaders and like the people who've been around for kind of longer, in terms of like placing customers and distributors, and what is your placement strategy? Because I know a lot of times people are either hesitant one way or the other, but do you have a particular strategy?
I am one of those leaders who place to build, period. And because I can enroll a distributor with my eyes closed, it can be a blessing and a curse. Because for one, we only get 24 hours to decide who's going where. I may sign you up and be like, okay, I spoke with Candace. She seems like she's going to kill it. I think I'm going to really run with her. And in my next 3, 4, 5 distributors, I may have placed with you. But then now you're talking like, I'm reaching out to people and they're not hitting me back, and I don't know if I could do this. I'm like, well, dang, I didn't invest in 5 distributors in you. Like, you're already Ruby structure. I'm going to find a golden egg somewhere in that structure. So maybe your executive or maybe that qualified leg, is popping off. Y'all have seen that I will erase and replace in a heartbeat. Not saying I won't be there for you, but I'm going to move down to the next person that's working. If no one in that leg, and sometimes, like I said, it backfires, and you may get all 5 distributors turn out to be duds right away, I'll start a new leg. My upline, she's no longer in the business, but she hated the way I charted and built because I build wide. But I do that also has worked in my favor. I max the comp plan doing that because, you get paid more when they're on your top line. I build a bunch of rubies wide. I think the widest I've been at one point, and I'm probably the only leader that does this, but I've been over 20 wide on my top line. Same with my husband's top line. And that's what's helped me max the compensation plan. And then therefore, if a leg falls off, I got a ton of other legs to be able to balance it at the same time. But I am a firm believer of looking into my organization and seeing who's working. I always tell my team, don't expect a handout, because even where I am today, no one has ever given me a distributor, a loyal, or even 10 BV to help me get anywhere that I so far that have accomplished. So I tell my team all the time, like, if I'm doing that or anybody else is doing that, take that and run with it. Like, don't take that lightly, because everyone doesn't get built in this business. But if you take advantage of it or you don't do your part, I'm not going to put a check in someone's household who's not working for it. If you won't help pick up the shovel and dig, I will find someone in that leg or start a whole nother leg, basically, to run with that person. I run with my runners. I walk with my walkers, but I do not sit with sitters.
Come through.
I'm sorry. That's their red personality that comes out.
No, that's good. I think that's really good, because I think a lot of people end up just be like, run with your runners, and they don't think about the walkers who do want to, their goal might have only been to make 500 extra.
Exactly. Sometimes your walkers can be great qualified legs. Sometimes your walkers take a while to catch the vision. And I always tell the team, work as if you're next up in line. You never know if your leader is eyeballing you like, okay, I think I'm really going to run with Candace after this. I know I haven't built her yet. I know she's like 2 years in, but I see she's constantly chiming in. She's constantly coming to training. She's constantly in a 400 club. It doesn't even have to be you are a rock star recruiter or loyal customer. You plug it in enough and being available at all times, that's enough to get my attention to say, okay, I'm going to watch what she's doing for a minute. I always tell my team, you never know if you're next up in line where I may need another ruby or another diamond leg, heck, another executive. You never know. So just work as if you're next in line. But when you're Bob the Builder in your business, you don't have to worry about anybody building for you. That's how you max the comp plan. You be your own Bob the Builder versus someone building you.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you. Any final thoughts or motivational anything to kind of keep people going, and, for those that are pushing for Ruby and Diamond and above?
Whatever you're pushing for, I don't care if it's just your 4 loyals within your first 30 days or to be fast or qualified, like, stay excited about your business. Excitement breeds more excitement. That's what people are attracted to. Stay passionate about your business. If you're ever in a funk about something, do not put that on social media, because I can promise those silent watchers that were watching you will now look the other way because you got in your feelings about whatever it is that you shared on social media. Trust your process, trust your journey, understand everything happens for a reason. It's just the next puzzle piece to get to the bigger picture. And I'm a firm believer of pray over your business every day. Pray over your life. increase. Like, you can't just pray about something and think God's going to drop it in your lap. You got to pray about it and be ready to receive it, you know? So I've learned to personally take myself out of the equation and stop saying, I want to get here, I want to make this, I want to achieve that. Who can I help get where they want to be? You know, and when I did that, of course it works out in your favor, but it's no longer for self-gain. So, you know, pray over your business every day and just watch God do his thing.
Awesome sauce. So thank you so much. I really, 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 really appreciate you. And I know the team got a lot from this. Thank you so much. I'm just so excited because I know this is a lot of good stuff, not only for like our newbies. We do have quite a relatively new team, but we have a few vets as well. So I think this was helpful, and even stuff that we can kind of, you know, trickle down in our downlines,
right,
to help them use that to keep building their businesses.
Yeah, you just, like I said, you got to stay excited because, you know, sometimes people get over that honeymoon stage of their business and they're just kind of like bored with it, not excited. Stay excited, stay plugged in, stay close to the fire. Keep getting on calls and always remain like a sponge. Like, even before It Works, when I was in the salon, I was always going to classes to learn more, you know, about a color technique or a cutting technique. You always want to remain like a sponge and absorb as much knowledge as you can. You will never, or please never, get to a point in life where you think you know it all and you can't be taught anything else. Even me, as a presidential and top earner, I'm still learning. You know, I still make mistakes. I still fail. I still learn from my mistakes. But I'm like a sponge. I can learn from other leaders. I can learn from other beginners. I'm still learning from some of my team who just started, but everyone can bring something valuable to the table. So if you have that, you know, that moment of, okay, I'm a sponge, I'm going to absorb everything that's coming my way, you can't help but go to the top and be successful. And take everyone with you that you can. It's no fun at the top by yourself.
Yeah. Collecting all them checks by yourself.
Right.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I'll let you go.
I'm good. Y'all let me know. What time is it?
I can open it up for questions if anybody has questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my team to give me just a couple minutes before, I know they're already logged into the Zoom, but tell them to just give me a couple minutes.
Okay. So y'all can either go ahead and type away in the chat. Or you can feel free to unmute yourself. Don't all jump at once.
Don't feel bad. My team does the same. We'll get a guest speaker and they're all excited, but as soon as they open for Q&A, it's like crickets.
I have a question. This is Erica. How are you?
Hey, Erica.
I think I missed some of the part you were talking about the 6 things every day before you go to bed. Can you kind of recap that for me?
I was saying they can either be income producing activities for your business or just things you have to do, household chores or things in life or your personal development, but at least it helps you hold yourself accountable so you can be productive versus just being busy. So every night before you go to bed, write down 6 things that need to be accomplished for the next day. And as you accomplish them, cross them off in hopes that before the day is over, you've accomplished all 6 things. If not, whatever doesn't get crossed off needs to be at the top of the list for the next day when you make that list. And basically, like I said, it just helps you hold yourself accountable so you know what you need to be doing versus where you need to spend more time at, maybe less time at, and so forth from there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and Sharnita had a question. She says, what gave you the oomph not to give up?
Ooh, my faith probably, because there have been times I wanted to throw in a towel. And I just felt like God was just like, keep going. I got so much further for you to go. And my kids were my why. You know, they are still my why. And I just think about where we used to be, you know, how our life used to be. I have some videos where I'm very transparent on my YouTube channel. If you guys haven't seen it yet, my channel is Sonovia 98. I'm very transparent on those things. So I just know what things used to be like, and I refuse to go back there. So that's kind of what keeps me going. I'm just like, you know, I've come too far to go back to how life used to be. And it just helps me, you know, stay focused. And seeing that I can, not have only gained my own success, but show others how to obtain their own as well. That right there is a blessing all in itself. When someone's messaging you like, oh my gosh, I just paid off my car note because of the business, or thanks for introducing me to this business. I was able to pay cash for my wedding. Little things like that just makes you want to go further, because it's not about just you at the end of the day. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than just your team. Like, it's bigger than all of us. So just know someone's rooting for you. Whether you know it or not, there's someone rooting for you to keep going. You inspire.
I have a quick question. I'm Latrice.
Hey,
Hey, girl. So really quickly, if you can give me tips as far as, or give the team tips as far as being, stepping to that leadership vein, how involved are you with your team as far as like charting, as far as like, what are you asking from them on a daily or weekly basis, especially when it's in a promotion season? Like, because I know you said you're not really, when they ask you a question, you like find it yourself, but when you are really pushing for promotion and all that stuff, so what are you asking from them at this point?
I'm very, very hands-on with my team, whether it's rap parties, whether it's Zoom trainings, whether it's one-on-ones, whether it's I'm in a funk, we need to go to Starbucks and talk about this, Sonovia, I'm ready to quit. Like, I'm very hands-on with my team. But I do believe in, like I said, building more self-sufficient leaders. So a lot of times now it's like I've passed the torch to them, and they like to be edified as well. And my team knows my story. They know what I've accomplished. Nobody wants to keep hearing me speak all the time. So we have a distributor spotlight that we do, or a rock star spotlight, and someone who may have just come in and been killing it at Loyals, or killing it at getting distributors, or just the way they're posting on social media. I'm big on edifying others and acknowledging that. And sometimes they may take over and host a call, or do a Zoom, or do an opportunity, things like that. So it has those who may kind of not be there yet, like, oh, I hope she acknowledges me for the distributor spotlight. So everyone's kind of running to try and be recognized for that, so they could get shouted out and, loved on and get their ego stroked and all. Some people they like that. I'm big on running contests for things. And then I'll get with certain legs and certain teams to say, okay, hey, we'll do a Zoom for this team to get all your qualified legs and your leaders together, or your title holders together, just so everyone's all on the same page and know who's responsible for what and who needs to bring what to the table, or what we're expecting of each other.
Gotcha.
Because I like the team to know at the end of the day, regardless of where you are on my chart or anyone else's chart, you matter, period. If it's just running your auto ship, you matter, So I like everyone to know that what they do in this business, it's not just about them. It matters for all of us. You matter to each and every one of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't think we have any other questions. Let me make sure. Nope, I think that's it. All right. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time. I know you're running late to your team call, but I could not thank you enough, because this is super helpful, and I'm glad that we got a good turnout from our team too. So that's definitely good.
Well, I'm excited. And like I said, thanks for having me. I really appreciate that. I hope something I shared either filled someone's cup, or, have it to where, you want to push a little further to keep going for your goals.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a fabulous night.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So I didn't really have anything else for the rest of the team. I know there's a lot of you guys on here that I've either never met or connected with. So if you guys have any questions for me, or if any of you guys are in Chicago and are looking to, it's interesting that Sonovia said the whole weekly rap parties, because that's something that I am going to try to get back to. So I think it would be a good idea for us to, I'll just make sure that I send out whenever I'm hosting parties to open it up to the team. And I would definitely say that whatever city you're in, if you're hosting a party, to just kind of open it up so that other people can know, and then that way you always have like something to be sending people to. But did any of you guys have any other questions? And also, if y'all let me know any other leaders that y'all are, that you might be interested in hearing from, that's also a good thing to be thinking about as you're seeing different leaders, so that I can basically pull them in and try to get them on calls. Don't all jump at once. All right. Well, I'm gonna get y'all the rest of y'all night back as long as y'all are good. If y'all have any other questions, definitely let me know. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
No problem. See ya.